Welcome to the dazzling world of Karatina, Kenya, where one man reigns supreme. The Slay King, Dorothy is a charmer living the ultimate soft life, designer clothes, luxury resorts, and a social media empire screaming success. But whispers are spreading. Is his empire real? Or just a house of cards? A sharp-eyed samosa seller smells something fishy, and is not alone. When his secrets unravel and trust crumbles, can this king rise from the ashes? Let's dive into the tale and see what will happen. In the quiet village of Karatina, nestled in the hills of central Kenya, lived the man who was the definition of cream trap and confidence, Brian Yuriuki, also known on Instagram as Slay King Brienzi. He was tall, dark, and dashing with a smile that could melt ice cream in the fridge. Every Sunday, he'd step out in white sneakers, rub designer jeans, a Gucci shirt, and shades, even if it was cloudy. Every time he passed, women would whisper, "That's the one." Young men idolized him. Mothers shook their heads. And Boda just said, he lived the life we dreamt of. Brian called himself the CEO of Royal Threads Empire, an online fashion consultancy for international brands. His social media feed was a curated gallery of soft life aesthetics, wine glasses, luxury resorts in Nanyuki, city backdrops in Nairobi, and photo shoots with captions like, "Bosses don't chase money. We attract it." But what they didn't know was, Royal Threads Empire didn't exist. Not offline, not even as an e-commerce site. What Brian truly ran was a full-time lifestyle built on illusion and something deeper. Mama Wairimu, who sold samosas near the bus stage, always had questions. Brian doesn't farm. He doesn't go to Nairobi for work. He doesn't even own a kiosk. But every 2 days, he's wearing new shoes. Something is fishy, she whispered to anyone who would listen. One Thursday morning, as Brian walked past in a floral shirt and designer cologne strong enough to perfume the air for 10 minutes, Mama Wairimu stopped him. "Brian, soft life is your portion, my son. But tell me, which job is this where you don't sweat, yet your skin is glowing like polished mahogany?" Brian flashed his killer smile. "Mama Wairimu, the world has changed. Some of us do smart work, not hard work. Digital consulting and forex marketing. You know, I help international clients grow their brands." Mama Wairimu said, narrowing her eyes. "These days even thieves have job titles." Brian just laughed and walked off. "If you want a mentorship session, I charge in dollars, Mama." Inside his apartment, paid for 6 months in advance, Brian's real life unfolded. His laptop screen had no inventory system. Just scripts and messages to send to his clients. Clients like Mr. Utieno, a retired civil servant with a fat pension and a thirst for quick returns. Brian called him. "Boss OT. The crypto deal I mentioned is closing today. If you come in now with just 500,000 Kenyan shillings, you'll double it in 3 weeks. Guaranteed. My overseas broker has a window open just for you." "Are you sure, Brian?" Mr. Utieno asked with a concerned tone. "Boss, when have I ever lied to you? I'm not just your consultant. I'm your son." Flattered and convinced, Utieno sent the money. Brian grinned. Another win for the empire. Sheila, Brian's friend from college, visiting from Nairobi. As she lounged on his balcony sipping passion fruit juice, laughed. And said, "Brian, you're a legend. I saw you convince a guy to send $500,000 while you were in your boxes." Brian winked. "People pay for value, and I give premium confidence." "But aren't you scared?" Sheila asked. "One wrong move and this whole thing could collapse." Brian shrugged. "I play chess, not checkers. I stay 2 steps ahead." Brian said, not knowing the game was shifting faster than he imagined. One Friday evening, Mr. Mora, a wealthy hardware dealer from Nakuru, called. "Brian, about the luxury watches you're importing. I want to see them before I invest more." Brian's face froze. "Oh, sir, the consignment just landed in Mombasa. Customs are delaying clearance, but once I get them I will let you know, sir." "Don't lie to me," Mr. Mora snapped. "Send proof today or I'm pulling out. And if I find out this is a scam, I'll involve the police." Brian called his partner in hustle, Juma, the tech guy who designed fake websites and receipts. "Juma, I need fake clearance papers in a warehouse video now." Juma, calm as always, said, "I got you, King. Give me 30 minutes. During a random photo shoot at a lodge near Mt, Kenya, Brian met Grace, a soft-spoken primary school teacher who didn't even have Instagram. She found his confidence fascinating. He found her simplicity refreshing. "I teach class 5, Grace said. "And you? What do you really do?" Brian hesitated. For once, he didn't want to lie. But old habits die hard. "I manage international brand portfolios," he said, dodging the full truth. They started dating. Grace believed she had found a focused, driven man. Brian began feeling guilty. For the first time, he wished he was the man he pretended to be. Trouble came on a Monday. Brian's Instagram exploded with a video of him in a hotel lobby convincing a rich client about the fake leather bag shipment. The caption: "Beware of the slaking scammer. Fake brands, fake business." In hours, local blogs picked it up. Back in Karatina, Mama Wairimu screamed, "Didn't I say? All these photo shoots in suits with no office. Thief in Gucci." Brian's phone rang non-stop. Grace called crying. "Tell me it's not true." I can't," Brian whispered. "I wanted to stop. I swear I did." The worst part wasn't the public shame but the betrayal. Juma, his partner, had vanished with all the money. His number, switched off, and his socials, deleted. Brian had nothing left. Just debts and broken trust. Grace came to his place one last time. "I believed in you, Brian. Even when people warned me. But you were living a lie." "I want to change," he said quietly. "If I start from scratch, will you walk with me?" She didn't answer, but later accepted. With Grace's help, Brian sold his designer clothes and unused gadgets. He used the money to refund part of what he owed Mr. Utieno and Mr. Mora. It wasn't much, but it was something. He started a real hustle, buying Mzimba clothes from Gikomba and reselling them on WhatsApp and TikTok under a new name, True Threads Kenya. No filters. No lies. Just folded shirts, clean shoes, and honesty. Grace eventually forgave him. Slowly. Months passed. Brian stayed low, focused, and humble. The fake empire was gone, but a new legacy was being built. One day, Grace walked into his small shop in town where he had just finished restocking. She smiled. "Now this is the man I prayed for." Brian chuckled, dusting off a rack. "I'm not a king anymore. Just a hustler with dreams." She held his hand. "Maybe now, you're a king in the right kingdom,"